Welcome to Eternal Enigma. Every 29 days, the moon completes its cycle around Earth. And according to ancient esoteric traditions, every lifetime your soul completes its cycle, dying, forgetting, returning to a new body, only to repeat the process endlessly. What if these two cycles are connected? What if the moon isn't a natural satellite but an artificial structure designed to trap souls in an endless reincarnation loop, harvesting human consciousness like a cosmic farm? This isn't science fiction. This is Gnostic teaching, corroborated by anomalous scientific data, ancient tribal memories, and disturbing testimonies from those who've died and returned. So don't forget to subscribe and like the video to support our team's dedication to bringing you so much high-quality knowledge. Today we're investigating the theory that the moon is a soul prison and how you might escape it. The moon has been humanity's constant companion for recorded history, governing tides, inspiring poetry, marking calendars, but it's also been associated with madness, lunacy, death. Countless death deities are lunar, and cycles of rebirth. Modern esotericism, particularly Gnostic Christianity and certain Eastern traditions, describes the material world as a prison created by false gods, Archons/Demiurge, to trap divine consciousness in matter. In this cosmology, the moon plays a specific function. It's the recycling station for souls, the mechanism that forces reincarnation and prevents escape from the physical realm. This theory gained modern attention through David Icke's Saturn-Moon matrix hypothesis and Robert Monroe's Loosh farming concept, both suggesting Earth is an energy farm where human emotional energy is harvested by non-physical entities, with the moon serving as control technology. We'll examine this from multiple angles: scientific anomalies that suggest the moon is artificial, ancient traditions describing pre-lunar times, Gnostic texts explaining the archonic soul trap, near-death experiences revealing the reincarnation mechanism, and practical methods for escaping the cycle. Whether you interpret this literally, moon is actual artificial satellite, or symbolically, moon represents forces that trap consciousness, the pattern is consistent. Something about the moon relates directly to death, memory erasure, and cyclical rebirth. The moon shouldn't exist as it does. The moon presents numerous characteristics that distinguish it from natural satellites and suggest possible artificial origin or modification. Perfect eclipse ratio. The moon is exactly 400 times smaller than the sun and exactly 400 times closer to Earth, creating perfect total eclipses where moon precisely covers sun's disk. This is cosmically improbable. No other planet-moon system in our solar system has this characteristic. The odds of this occurring naturally are astronomically small. Ancient cultures considered eclipses deeply significant, often involving soul-related symbolism. If the moon is soul processing technology, eclipses might be maintenance periods or power surges. Circular orbit. The moon's orbit is nearly perfectly circular, unlike most natural satellites which have elliptical orbits. This suggests either capture by Earth, unlikely given moon's size, or artificial placement, natural formation through collision. Mainstream theory typically produces elliptical orbits initially, tidal locking. The moon always shows the same face to Earth, synchronized rotation period with orbital period. While tidal locking occurs naturally over time, the moon's is perfect. The dark side, far side, is never visible from Earth, making it ideal location for structures or operations we're not meant to observe. Low density. The moon's density, 3.34 grams ligmatic, significantly lower than Earth's 5.52 grams ligmatic, suggesting it's either made of different material or partially hollow. When NASA crashed the Saturn V rocket's third stage into the moon during Apollo 12, seismometers recorded vibrations lasting over 3 hours. The moon rang like a bell, Dr. Gordon MacDonald, NASA scientist, stated. It would seem that the moon is more like a hollow than a homogeneous sphere. Carl Sagan wrote, "A natural satellite cannot be a hollow object. If the moon is hollow or partially hollow, it supports the artificial hypothesis, a constructed shell rather than accumulated natural body." Shallow craters. Lunar craters are unusually shallow for their diameter. Meteors should penetrate deeply based on impact velocity, but lunar craters suggest impacts against hard underlying surface beneath regolith, dust layer. This implies artificial shell covered by accumulated dust and debris. Unusual materials. Moon rocks contain processed metals and materials like titanium, brass, mica, uranium-236 and neptunium-237 that shouldn't exist naturally. Some materials are more processed than anything found on Earth. Apollo astronauts reported finding rust on lunar samples impossible without oxygen and water. Stabilized orbit. The Moon's orbit is remarkably stable despite gravitational perturbations from the Sun and planets. Computer models suggest the Moon-Earth system should be unstable over geological time, yet it persists unchanged. Some researchers propose active stabilization, technological rather than natural, the lunar wave phenomenon. Amateur astronomers have captured footage of what appears to be a wave passing across the Moon's surface, a brief distortion suggesting holographic projection malfunction or energy field disruption. While controversial and unexplained by mainstream science, multiple independent observers have recorded similar phenomena, magnetic anomalies. The Moon has no global magnetic field but has localized magnetic anomalies far stronger than expected from natural processes. Some are positioned in geometric patterns. These could indicate technological installations beneath the surface. Scientific consensus breakdown. There's no universally accepted explanation for the Moon's origin. The giant impact hypothesis, Mars-sized object collided with early Earth, is most popular, but has serious problems. Moon's composition should match Earth's mantle, but there are significant differences. The angular momentum problem hasn't been fully resolved. The lack of consensus after decades of study suggests the Moon's origin might be more exotic than currently theorized. They remember when the Moon arrived. Multiple ancient cultures possess traditions describing Earth before the Moon existed, suggesting the Moon is a relatively recent addition to our sky, not present since Earth's formation. Greek traditions. Greek writers Apollonius Rhodius, Plutarch, referenced the Proselenes or pre-Selenites, Arcadian people who lived in Greece before the Moon appeared. Aristotle mentions traditions of Arcadia being settled before the Moon existed. The name Proselenes literally means before Selene, Selene being the Moon goddess, indicating explicit cultural memory of pre-lunar times. African traditions. Zulu shamans maintain oral traditions stating the Moon was brought here by extraterrestrial entities called the Katori, children of the serpent. According to these teachings, Earth existed without a moon, and its arrival changed everything, instituting the current cycle of death and rebirth. Credo Mutwa, Zulu elder and keeper of tribal histories, described the Moon as an artificial satellite placed in orbit to control human consciousness and establish the reincarnation cycle. While his accounts are controversial, they align remarkably with Gnostic cosmology despite coming from completely independent tradition. Native American accounts. Several Native American tribes have legends referencing times before the Moon existed. These describe the Moon's arrival as a cataclysmic event that changed Earth's rotation, seasons, and the nature of life itself. Assyrian and Babylonian texts. Some researchers interpret certain cuneiform tablets as describing pre-lunar periods, though translations are disputed. References to when the Moon was not yet appear in fragmentary form. Colombian tribes. The Chibcha people of Colombia have creation myths describing Earth before the Moon, with the Moon's arrival marking the beginning of current age, specifically the institution of death and cyclical time as we know it. Tibetan teachings. Certain esoteric Tibetan teachings, not mainstream Buddhism, reference multiple moons Earth has had throughout its history, suggesting the current Moon is not the original or only one. These teachings describe moons as way stations for consciousness between incarnations. Consistency across cultures. What's remarkable is the consistency. Geographically separated cultures with no contact all describe Earth existing without the Moon's arrival as sudden cataclysmic event, major changes to life, death, and time coinciding with Moon's appearance, association of Moon with death, rebirth, and soul cycles. If these are just myths, why the consistent theme across unconnected cultures? Either they're describing actual historical event, Moon's arrival/placement in orbit, or they're all independently encoding the same esoteric truth in mythological language. Scientific correlation. Interestingly, geological evidence suggests Earth experienced catastrophic flooding and climate changes around 11,000, 12,000 years ago, end of last ice age. Some alternative researchers propose this timing coincides with the Moon's arrival or repositioning, causing massive tidal disruptions and the flood myths found in nearly every ancient culture. While mainstream science attributes these changes to ice sheet melting, the alternative hypothesis that a massive new gravitational body moon entering Earth orbit caused tidal catastrophes cannot be completely dismissed given the consistent ancient testimonies. Archons, Demiurge, and the prison planet. Gnostic Christianity, suppressed by Orthodox Christianity as heretical, provides the theological framework for understanding Earth as prison and the moon as part of the control mechanism. The Gnostic Cosmology, according to Gnostic texts, Nag Hammadi library, particularly the Apocryphon of John, the material universe was not created by the true God, but by the Demiurge, a false god, sometimes called Yaldabaoth, who either ignorantly or maliciously created the physical realm as trap for divine consciousness. The Demiurge commands Archons, parasitic entities that feed on human suffering and emotional energy. The Archons maintain the material prison by keeping souls ignorant of their divine origin, forcing reincarnation to prevent escape, harvesting emotional energy loose from human suffering, erasing memory between incarnations so souls don't learn or progress. The moon's function. While Gnostic texts don't explicitly identify the moon as the soul trap mechanism, they predate our astronomical understanding. They describe spheres or realms that souls must pass through after death. Esoteric interpretations identify the lunar sphere as the first barrier, the immediate trap that captures souls before they can escape to higher dimensions. In Hermetic astrology, which influenced Gnostic thought, the 7 classical planets, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Sun, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, represent 7 levels of reality, with each having an archon governor. The moon is the first and lowest, the boundary between Earth and higher realms. Souls ascending after death must pass through each planetary sphere, shedding aspects of personality at each level. But most never get past the lunar sphere. They're captured, their memories erased, and recycled back to Earth. The reincarnation mechanism. Gnostic teaching describes the process. Physical death. Consciousness separates from body. The lunar trap. Soul is drawn to the moon's light, appearing as tunnel of white light, memory erasure. The river Lethe. Forgetfulness erases memories of previous life and true divine nature. Judgment programming. Archons disguised as councils of elders or spiritual guides convince the soul it needs to return to Earth to learn lessons or balance karma. Reincarnation. Soul is forced back into a new body, retaining no memory of previous existence or divine origin. This cycle continues indefinitely, with each lifetime generating emotional energy, fear, love, suffering, joy, that the Archons harvest. Humans are essentially livestock in an energy farm. The light is trap. This is crucial. Gnostic teaching warns that the light encountered after death is not divine light, but archonic deception. The moon projecting attractive light to capture souls like moths to flame. The true divine light lies beyond the false light, beyond the lunar sphere. Reaching it requires rubber trick, recognizing the trap, refusing the false light, pushing through darkness beyond the archonic realms, reciting specific names of power to repel Archons, maintaining awareness of divine origin. Modern Gnostic interpretations, contemporary Gnostic teachers, John Lamb Lash, others, identify the Moon-Saturn system as the primary technological infrastructure maintaining the prison. Saturn broadcasts the base frequency that generates material reality, the matrix. The moon amplifies and relays this frequency to Earth. Human DNA acts as receiver for these frequencies, limiting perception to narrow bandwidth that perceives only matter. In this model, the moon is literally a satellite, both meanings orbiting body and broadcasting station, that keeps human consciousness tuned to the prison frequency. The Christ figure. Gnostic texts describe Christ, distinct from historical Jesus, as divine messenger who entered the prison to teach souls how to escape, providing the gnosis, knowledge that breaks the archonic spell. His core message: you are divine spark, trapped in matter. Remember your true nature and refuse to return. Orthodox Christianity, according to Gnostics, was corrupted by archonic influence to remove this liberating knowledge and replace it with doctrines that reinforce the prison, original sin, unworthiness, need for external salvation. What happens when you die? Near-death experiences provide testimonial evidence about the dying process. While most NDE accounts are positive, tunnel of light, deceased relatives, feelings of peace, a subset of reports describes something more disturbing that aligns with the soul trap theory. Standard NDE pattern. Most NDEs follow consistent pattern, deceased relatives or beings of light greeting them. Life review, watching entire life from observer perspective. Decision point, told they must return, or given choice, return to body. The suspicious elements, examining this critically through Gnostic lens reveals potential manipulation. The tunnel creates sense of movement toward something, limiting perception to narrow path. No opportunity to explore or consider alternatives, just forward momentum toward the light. The light, described as irresistibly attractive, loving, beautiful, exactly how you design a trap. Make it appealing so souls go willingly. Deceased relatives, Gnostic interpretation. Archons can appear as anyone to gain trust. If you see dead grandmother, you're more likely to follow her instructions. These might be wearing familiar faces to manipulate you. Life review serves dual purpose, showing you all your mistakes to create guilt and convince you to return to do better, while also cataloging your emotional responses for archonic consumption. The council. Many NDers report meeting a council of elders or light beings who tell them they must return, or that they chose this life pre-birth, or that they have lessons to complete. Gnostic view. These are Archons manipulating you into consenting to reincarnation. Divergent NDEs. Some NDers report different experiences that support the trap hypothesis. Resisting the light. A minority report feeling that the light was wrong or false and intentionally avoided it. These individuals describe going into darkness instead of light, finding different exit or realm beyond the standard tunnel, encountering genuinely divine presence only after rejecting the false light, receiving information that the tunnel light is indeed a trap. One account describes an NDer who went toward darkness, passed through it, and emerged in a realm of true divine light, utterly different from the tunnel light. Upon returning, they were convinced the standard tunnel is a deceptive filtration system. Forced return. Some report being forcibly returned despite their wishes, not gently told it's not your time, but literally pushed back into their body against will. This suggests non-consensual control, not loving spiritual guidance. Memory wipe attempts. Rare accounts describe experiencing memory erasure process during NDEd but resisting it. One individual reported feeling their memories being pulled out like files being deleted before returning to body and retaining the experience. This aligns with the Gnostic teaching about the river Lethe, memory erasure between incarnations. The choice deception. Many NDEders report being told they chose their life before birth, selecting parents, circumstances, challenges for soul growth. Gnostic interpretation. This is manipulation tactic, making you complicit in your imprisonment. By making you believe you chose it, the Archons remove rebellion. You consented, so it's fair. Create false sense of control. Make you accept suffering as lessons you designed. Ensure you'll return willingly next time. Robert Monroe's Louche discovery. Robert Monroe, founder of the Monroe Institute and pioneer in out-of-body research, described during OBE experiences discovering that Earth is an energy farm. He coined the term louche for emotional energy that humans generate through experience, particularly suffering, love, fear, ecstasy. According to Monroe's accounts, non-physical entities harvest louche from humans like farmers harvesting crops. The entire reincarnation system exists to perpetuate human experience generation, providing endless louche supply. The moon in this framework is the collection and distribution center, gathering louche from dying living humans and ensuring souls recycle to continue production. Consistency across accounts. What's striking is that NDEs from different cultures, religions, and time periods report remarkably similar experiences. Either reflects genuine universal death process. Mainstream view, the reflects universal soul trap mechanism operating consistently across all humans. The Gnostic interpretation is, 2. The Archonic system operates the same for everyone, regardless of beliefs, because it's technological rather than spiritual. Why you don't remember. One of the most disturbing aspects of the reincarnation cycle is amnesia. We don't remember previous lives. Reincarnation believers often claim this is merciful. Imagine remembering hundreds of deaths, or educational. Starting fresh prevents bias. But the Gnostic view is darker. Memory erasure is essential to the trap. Why memory erasure is necessary for the prison. If souls retained memories across incarnations, they would recognize the pattern. Death, Rona manipulation, rebirth, accumulate knowledge and wisdom across lifetimes, eventually figure out the trap and escape, refuse to return once they'd experienced enough. Memory erasure keeps each lifetime fresh, the soul experiences as if for the first time, never learning from previous cycles, never accumulating enough awareness to break free. The moon's role in memory. Esoteric traditions specifically associate the moon with memory loss. The river Lethe. Greek mythology describes the river Lethe in the underworld. Souls drink from it and forget their past lives before reincarnating. This is metaphorical description of actual process. Lunar amnesia. Astrologically, the moon governs memory, emotions, and the subconscious. In esoteric astrology, the moon is the veil of forgetfulness, the barrier that obscures past life memories and divine knowledge. The silver cord. Many esoteric traditions describe a silver cord connecting astral body to physical body during OBEs. This cord is often described as lunar in nature, silvery, reflective, connecting through the lunar sphere. When it's severed at death, memory erasure occurs as the soul passes through the lunar realm. Childhood amnesia. Even in current life, we don't remember early childhood, infantile amnesia. Most people's first memories start around age 3-4. Mainstream neuroscience attributes this to hippocampal development. But alternative theory, we do remember our previous life and pre-birth state during early childhood. But the lunar frequency gradually erases these memories by age 3-4, establishing the amnesia necessary for the current lifetime to feel real and separate from past existence. Some children do report past life memories before age 5, but these fade as the lunar programming solidifies. Parents dismissing these reports as imagination accelerates the forgetting. Reincarnation research findings. Dr. Ian Stevenson, University of Virginia, documented thousands of cases of children with verified past life memories. His research shows memories are strongest ages 2 to 5. They fade rapidly after age 7. They often include traumatic death from previous life. Many can be verified through historical records. This supports the view that memory erasure is gradual process during early childhood, not instantaneous at rebirth. The lunar frequency needs time to fully suppress past life memories. Hypnotic regression. Past life regression hypnosis can sometimes access memories from between lives, the period after death but before rebirth. Common reports include breathing in darkness or gray space, meeting counsels or guides who direct you toward rebirth, being shown potential life options, feeling coerced or manipulated into choosing incarnation, memory erasure as you approach rebirth. These accounts align with Gnostic teaching. There is an intermediate state where souls are processed, evaluated, and redirected back to Earth. The DMT connection. DMT, released by pineal gland at death according to some researchers, might be the mechanism of memory erasure. Some theories propose data overwhelms consciousness, creates intense hallucinations, tunnel, light, beings, scrambles memory formation, prepares consciousness for transfer to new body. The pineal gland, third eye, is symbolically associated with the moon in esoteric anatomy. It's possible this gland serves as interface between lunar control frequency and human consciousness. Why some remember, a small percentage retain past life memories despite the erasure mechanism. Possible explanations. Traumatic death creates such intense imprint, it survives erasure. Soul is old and has techniques to preserve memories. Reincarnation happened too quickly for full erasure. Individual has strong third eye pineal function resisting lunar programming. These cases are exceptions proving the rule. Memory erasure is the norm, suggesting active suppression rather than natural forgetting. How the moon affects human consciousness. Beyond soul trapping, the moon allegedly exerts continuous influence on human consciousness while alive, maintaining the frequency prison that keeps perception limited to material reality. Observable lunar effects. Science confirms the moon affects Earth and humans measurably. Tidal forces. The moon governs ocean tides through gravity. Human bodies are 60% water. Blood is 90% water. The moon's gravitational pull affects bodily fluids, though mainstream science considers the effect negligible. Esoteric teaching. The effect is significant on subtle body and consciousness. Menstrual cycles. Women's menstrual cycles average 28 days, lunar month. Studies show some synchronization with lunar phases, though not universal. This demonstrates biological responsiveness to lunar rhythm. Behavior changes. Studies show increased hospital admissions, psychiatric emergencies, and crime during full moons. The term lunatic derives from luna, moon, ancient recognition that the moon affects mental state. Sleep disruption. Research shows people sleep worse during full moons, less deep sleep, more waking, lower melatonin. The moon's light affects circadian rhythms even through closed eyelids and curtains, suggesting non-visual mechanism. The Saturn-Moon matrix. David Icke's theory proposes Saturn and Moon work together. Blotted riddle, Roncont's space frequency, the Matrix program. Moon amplifies and beams it to Earth. Human DNA receives frequency, limiting perception to 3D material reality. In this model, we're living in a broadcast reality, a holographic projection maintained by lunar Saturnian frequency. We perceive solid matter because our brains are tuned to receive and decode that specific broadcast. Evidence cited: Saturn's hexagon, geometric structure suggesting artificial generation; Moon's anomalies, suggesting artificiality. Consistent reports from ayahuasca/DMT users of seeing through the veil when normal brain reception is disrupted. The lunar programming, esoteric teaching describes the moon as broadcasting specific frequencies that reinforce materialism, make physical reality seem solely real, spiritual dimensions seem imaginary, generate cyclical thinking, monthly cycles, repetitive patterns, circular thought preventing linear escape, maintain separation consciousness, feeling separate from each other and from divine source, induce forgetting, both during life, spacing out, memory issues. The moon's position affects astrology, which esoteric traditions treat as real influence rather than superstition. Your natal moon position supposedly determines ardrus, emotional patterns, subconscious programming, relationship to mother feminine, how you process and release past. Some astrologers view moon placement as showing your trap pattern, the specific way the lunar prison affects your consciousness. Breaking the frequency. Methods reportedly effective for temporarily disrupting lunar control. Moderation. Achieving deep states changes brainwave frequency beyond lunar broadcast range. Psychedelics. DMT, ayahuasca, psilocybin disrupt normal reception, allowing perception of non-material dimensions. Fasting. Alters body chemistry, potentially changing receptivity to lunar frequency. Isolation. Darkness retreats, sensory deprivation weaken external programming, sacred geometry strict frequency, specific sounds 528 Hz, solfeggio frequencies might counter lunar broadcast. Practical methods for soul liberation. If the moon reincarnation trap is real, how do you escape it? Ancient traditions and modern researchers offer strategies. Before death, preparation. 1. Knowledge. Simply knowing about the trap is first defense. If you die expecting tunnel-light relative scenario, you can recognize it as trap rather than blindly following programming. 2. Meditation practice. Develop ability to maintain awareness during altered states. Practice staying conscious during deep meditation, ego dissolution without unconsciousness. Lucid dreaming, awareness during dream state. Sleep transition, hypnagogia, staying aware as body falls asleep. These train consciousness to remain aware during the death transition when most people lose lucidity. 3. Astral projection. Regularly practicing OBE familiarizes you with consciousness outside body state. When death occurs, you're not disoriented. You recognize the state and navigate intentionally rather than following default programming. 4. Spiritual sovereignty. Develop strong sense of divine identity, knowing you are divine consciousness, not limited human needing external salvation. This makes you resistant to manipulation by councils or guides claiming authority. At death, the process. 1. Refuse the light. When the tunnel light appears, do not go toward it. Recognize it as trap. Some teachings say to turn away. Others say push through darkness beyond it to find true divine light on the other side. 2. Reject authority figures. If beings appear deceased relatives, angels, councils, question them. Test them with, I am sovereign divine consciousness. By what authority do you address me? True divine entities will respect sovereignty. Archonic entities will become hostile or attempt harder manipulation when confronted. 3. Demand truth. Ask directly, is this the reincarnation trap? Are you archonic entities attempting to recycle my soul? Supposedly, universal law requires them to reveal truth if directly asked, though they'll lie by omission if not asked. 4. State intent. Declare firmly, I do not consent to reincarnation. I reclaim my divine sovereignty. I will not return to the material realm. Intent and will are powerful in non-physical dimensions. Firm declaration supposedly creates reality. 5. Use names of power. Gnostic texts provide names that repel Archons. Ronron A. Braxis, Supreme Deity beyond Demiurge. Barbello, Divine Mother. Iao, True God Name. Say, in the name of divine name, I command you to release me. 6. Seek the void. Some teachings say go toward darkness, void, rather than light. The void beyond the archonic spheres is where true divine consciousness exists. Not warm, fuzzy light, but clear emptiness, pregnant with infinite potential. Alternative, the Buddhist Hindu approach. Eastern traditions offer different but compatible method. 1. Achieve enlightenment before death. Recognize illusory nature of self-world while alive. When you die already knowing you're not the body-mind, the transition holds no confusion. 2. Maintain awareness. The Tibetan Book of the Dead provides instructions for navigating bardos, intermediate states after death. Key point, maintain lucid awareness through all stages, recognizing all appearances as projections of mind. 3. Dissolve rather than travel. Instead of going anywhere, dissolve, recognize all forms, tunnel, light, beings as empty appearances. Don't engage, just witness until all phenomena dissolve and pure consciousness remains. 4. Merge with clear light. Ultimate Buddhist Hindu teaching. There's nowhere to escape to because separation is illusion. Merge with the Dharmakaya Brahman. Recognize your consciousness is the infinite, not separate from it. After escape, then what? If you successfully refuse reincarnation, then what? Teachings vary. Return to source, Godhead, Pleroma. Ascend to higher dimensional existence. Join other liberated souls in service to awakening those still trapped. Create your own reality, universe, as divine consciousness. Simply stop experiencing separation, cessation of individual existence. The moon's watchful eye. We've explored the theory that the moon is more than natural satellite. It's the machinery of soul imprisonment, the recycling station that keeps divine consciousness trapped in endless reincarnation cycles. From scientific anomalies suggesting artificial origin, to ancient memories of pre-lunar Earth, to Gnostic warnings about archonic soul traps, to NDE testimonies of the light tunnel deception, to the moon's measurable effects on memory and consciousness, the pattern is consistent. Whether you interpret this literally, moon is actual artificial technology, or symbolically, moon represents forces trapping consciousness in matter, the teaching is clear. Something about death, memory erasure and cyclical rebirth operates to prevent souls from escaping material existence. The moon completes its cycle every 29 days. Your soul completes its cycle every lifetime, and unless you consciously intervene, the cycle continues forever. Death, amnesia, manipulation, rebirth, suffering, death, repeat. But knowledge breaks spells. Simply knowing about the trap gives you power to recognize and resist it. When death comes, you'll face choice. Follow the light into another round of forgetting, or push beyond into whatever lies beyond the archonic spheres. The moon watches. It has always watched, and it will continue watching until you either escape its pull or accept your place in the endless cycle. Subscribe to Eternal Enigma for more investigations into the hidden mechanisms controlling human consciousness. Until next time, look up at the moon and ask yourself, is it watching you or are you watching it? The soul trap is real. The question is, will you escape it?